By the late 1960s, the social fabric of America was pulling apart. War, protests, and a deepening distrust of institutions had left an entire generation searching for an exit from the chaos. This created a widespread spiritual malaise. For many, Western materialism no longer provided a sense of purpose. They felt adrift, seeking a meaning that the fractured political landscape couldn't offer. Joan was a part of this movement. She was a vibrant, questioning soul who felt the disillusionment deeply. She wasn't looking for a political platform. She was looking for an authentic peace that cut through the noise. This search for meaning grew into a collective attempt to fill a massive cultural and spiritual void. That search took Joan and thousands of others onto the hippie trail. This legendary overland route meandered from Europe through the Middle East, serving as a physical pilgrimage for those looking for ancient wisdom and alternative ways of living. By the time Joan reached Kabul, Afghanistan, the exposure to diverse cultures and philosophies had begun to change her perspective. She was, as she later described it, preparing the soil of her being for a seed yet to be planted. Inside a smoky, spice-filled Afghan restaurant, Joan overheard a group of English travelers. They were talking about a 12-year-old boy in India they called the Master. This casual mention gave Joan a specific direction she hadn't realized she was seeking. Joan's journey suggests that while restlessness provides the fuel for exploration, it often takes an unexpected external spark to provide a clear destination. In 1970, Joan arrived in Dehradun, India. She spent hours waiting on a porch in the Himalayan foothills, anticipating her first meeting with the young guru. When Prem Rawat finally appeared, he offered no introductory small talk. He looked at Joan and asked, "What do you want?" Joan told him she wanted peace. His response was a challenge. He told her to search all of India first, then come back to him. He was testing her sincerity, ensuring her quest was based on more than just a passing interest. Later that year, she watched him deliver the Peace Bomb speech in Delhi. At only 12 years old, he declared his intention to establish peace in the world. For Joan, this was the commitment she needed. This direct, blunt exchange on the porch moved Joan's search from the intellectual to the personal, anchoring her to a path she would follow for decades. Joan returned to the United States in April 1971, acting as an ambassador for the peace she had found in India. She took a pragmatic approach to spreading the word, bombarding Prem Rawat with Western Union telegrams urging him to visit the U.S. and address the generation she knew was ready for him. When he arrived in July, the response was overwhelming. Halls were packed beyond capacity, with people literally dripping from the rafters to hear the young master speak. This momentum led to Millennium 73, an event in the Houston Astrodome that followers called the most significant event in human history. Joan served as co-MC, standing at the center of a movement that believed it could bring peace to the entire world. Spreading a message of inner tranquility turned out to require a significant amount of earthly administration and logistics. This rapid expansion eventually led to internal tension. By the mid-1970s, the Divine Light mission was hit by the family split. Prem Rawat's mother and elder brothers broke away from his leadership, creating schisms and confusion that fractured the global institution. While the organization splintered, Joan remained. Her loyalty didn't waver despite the political and familial chaos surrounding the teacher. She stayed because her commitment was anchored to a direct internal experience. To her, this personal connection was more important than the organizational structure or its internal politics. When institutional structures fail, a path is often sustained only by the weight of an individual's personal experience. In her later years, Joan moved to Woodstock, New York. Her focus shifted from the stadium-sized events of the 70s to a more personal, quiet integration of her path. The exuberance of her youth evolved into a stable, deeply internalized practice. She began to focus on how to combine her spiritual awareness with physical health. She became involved in holistic healing, particularly polarity therapy and crystal work. Polarity therapy is a system of body work aimed at balancing the body's energy. For Joan, this wasn't a new path, but a practical application of the peace she had been seeking since 1970. In later years, Joan will look back at her younger self as a drama queen, but she maintained that the fundamental feeling of her heart never changed. Joan's journey from a restless seeker to a practitioner of holistic health offers a look at how the intense energy of the 1960s eventually found a home in the quiet, practical work of daily life.